Hi everyone, so I've been wanting to do this video for quite a while, since last year, since about May of last year actually. And this is actually, it's a long overdue, but this is more of a respect, pardon me, let me start over. This is more of a tribute video, pardon me, a tribute video to Kentura Mora. Pardon me if I'm not pronouncing his name correctly, but the author or Magica, that's the title that one uses for someone who writes manga. I'm just gonna say author though because I don't think I know how to pronounce that correctly. But he was the author of Berserk, which came out in 1984 and is actually still ongoing, even past his passing. And the reason why I just wanted to do a tribute video is just because, as I said, I wanted to do this a lot earlier, closer to after he passed away. But unfortunately, due to personal reasons, it just kind of fell off the wayside. Despite that, though, obviously it's been something that's been on my mind, right? Something that I've been thinking about. And I'm still thinking about Kentura Mora because I'm still actively reading Berserk. I am caught up right now with the most recent chapter. And back then when celebrities died, I could empathize with people who were big fans of individuals, of like actors and celebrities and things like actors and singers and performers and everything like that when they passed away. But I've never really had a close connection to any celebrity. The only ones I could really think of are just like musical artists, like members of Muse or the National. I will be pretty bummed if something happened to those individuals just because I do appreciate their music. But I kind of did feel something emotional when Kentura Mora passed, just because I have a personal connection to his work, because I personally started reading it when I was in grad school. And I remember it was one of the things I had something to look forward to. When I had grad school was grueling. It was worth it if one is into education and learning, obtaining knowledge, right? I'm not trying to diss grad school, but obviously it's not an easy journey. But one of the things that was really gave me solace, something to look forward to, was my lunchtime. And the reason why I looked forward to my lunchtime was because of the fact that while I ate my sandwiches, I would usually just have a homemade sandwich. Sometimes I'll buy something, but usually it was a homemade sandwich with a bag of chips or something like that. I'll read a volume of Berserk. So that's when I really got into Berserk. I was already aware about it leading into grad school when I was an undergrad, but I've never really been the biggest consumer of anime and manga in general. So that's why it was just something that was on my radar. And I always heard that people say that the manga is just much more better than the anime. If you're going to digest Berserk, just read the manga. It's much more better, or much more efficient to do so. And that's what I did. And yeah, so I started really reading the volumes of my Kindle. The Kindle Fire. Book, because they're really cheap on the Kindle Fire. They will go down for like $2 per volume. And that's those I have really great memories of looking forward to reading each volume and being there with Guts, this individual who struggles so much to obtain what he wants and to obtain what his companions wants as well, but he's not always able to obtain that, right? But he doesn't stop. He just continues struggling. And I know that's usually such a negative word, to struggle, but I think Guts really shows us how it's a matter of perspective. Although he does struggle, it's a struggle worth doing. That's just something that I really appreciate about Berserk, was just the thematic themes and messages that the manga had. Again, grad school was not easy, and there was a moment where I was very close to dropping out, but I chose to continue. I chose to struggle, and it was something that was well worth it. And I'm not going to do any spoilers, but if one is caught up with the manga right now, poor Guts, right, the main character, of course he has to continue struggling. But fans have pointed out that Kentura Mora, he left he left the world in a place where the story was in a more positive a more positive set, and that's a pretty cool symbolic way to look at it. Because it did seem like Kentura Mora was struggling himself with mental health. It seems like during the pandemic, he actually posted a personal note at the end of one of the issues where he says that he couldn't attend his friend's funeral and how he was lonely, and I'm sure he was bummed out not being able to attend, but I would have regrets about that too, and that would make me bummed out. And so I think Kentura Mora was a struggler as well, but like Guts, he chose to persevere, and he shared that determination with us, and that's why we have Berserk. And Berserk has influenced so many other properties as well, and not just within the manga field, but also video games as well. And that's just really cool to think about. And I just, yeah, and that's why I wanted to do this video, because I still been thinking about Kentura Mora. I wanted to say this at the beginning, pardon me, but Kentura Mora was born July 11th in 1966. He passed away, as I said at the beginning, May 6th, 2021. And he was only 54, quite young in my opinion. I think that is a really young age. Um, and Berserk released in 1989. And as I said, it was ongoing, but he passed away when the story was still ongoing last year. Um, but essentially, yeah, despite the fact that he's been gone since May. Wait, excuse me. Oh, it's been longer than a year. Pardon me. I'm not the best with math because we're already in 2023. Happy New Year, by the way. I know I didn't say that. Excuse me. But yeah, so it's actually been more than a year. And I think that just really goes to show why I wanted to make this video, right? Because again, this series, thinking about it's just aspects, subject matter, individuals, properties that I'm still thinking about because they left such a lasting impression on me. And what better example than this? More than a year later, and I still wanted to have it. I still had the strong desire to make this video in honor of Kentura Mora. So yeah, so thank you, Kentura Mora. Kentura Mora. I hope he's happy, and if there is an afterlife, and then I hope he's happy and satisfied. For anyone out there who might be struggling with mental health, for anyone out there who's not struggling but just having a bad day, I hope you guys are able to find your coping skills, your coping mechanisms to help deal with that. And even if one might be isolated, don't forget the individual is still a self, and you can still find community through the things that one consumes, right? The properties, your video games, the TV shows, the movies, the books, the literature, short stories, whatever it may be, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys listening to my video. I say Happy New Year's and have a great day. And yeah, take care. I've been thinking about Kentura Mora, and I hope you guys have been thinking about a positive individual as well. Take care.